it ruined, it messed up the numbers. Anyway, banner 3. 3 awakenings. Orlandu, who is kind of like Noctis, actually. Very much like Noctis. Terra Cain. Was there any changes on this one? 0 changes. Thank goodness. So we have Orlandu's Awakening. Orlandu's another character who doesn't get an element. He might by the time the Holy and Dark 6 stars come out. And that would be cool. But for now, we know that he doesn't have an element. So he's a really good Odin killer for 3 different elements, which would be using earth damage, using holy damage, using darkness damage. And he's extremely good at it. Even down to the critical chance 100% that Noctis gets. Instead of Noctis's Overflow Chase, Orlandu just gets Thunder God's Might, which is the same status granted by his OSB. So, that's pretty nice. It's like his trance mode. Yeah, I just like Noctis's Awakening, I'd be totally cool with getting this too. Even though I have finished the Final Fantasy Tactics Tournament. Now, Terra's Awakening. This is very focused at being extremely powerful fire. As well, it does have the ability to be pretty good at 4 other elements on top of that. Because of the way Awakenings work. Especially Wind, because of her ability to be a Wind character. And what's interesting, and we found out, because Terra's the first character that got 2 Awakenings. Zidane. TR dub. Terra's the first character that got 2 Awakenings for different elements. And we found out that when you cast 2 Awakenings, this damage cap break that puts her up to being able to hit for 20k, it's actually worded, it would be more fitting to word it differently, which would be damage cap break plus 10k. Right. If you use 2 Awakenings, her ability to break the damage cap goes up to 30,000 instead of 20,000. So each Awakening is plus 10,000. And Meltdown is a fire and wind ability. So Meltdown benefits from a lot of the different things that Terra's Awakening 1 and Awakening 2 does. She goes into goddess mode for both elements. And she is the reason Magical Wind is something that you can't ignore. Physical Wind may be crazy, but Terra does exist. Do not forget that Terra exists. Cain's Awakening is just really good. It's a really good physical lightning. Not much to say about it. Overflow Chase, cool. The damage cap break 30,000 is to make up for the fact that not damage cap break 30,000, damage cap break plus 20,000 is to make up for the fact that his Awakening doesn't dual cast. So he has a higher damage cap instead. But on this banner, Cain does get an Elmar that allows him to dual cast. So even though his awakening doesn't auto dual cast, he does have the ability to dual cast. It's very good because Dragoon abilities are really good. And they have high multipliers. The 6-star Dragoon ability that's coming out with this festival is a 6-hit ability. So he actually has a damage cap of 180,000 without dual casting, which is very similar to the other character's damage cap of 200,000. So it's harder to hit his cap, but he's not punished too much for it. But don't forget that Cain is a really powerful character, and he does have a good LM2 that gives him basically a 50% attack buff that stacks with everything. So it's not as hard to hit his 30k cap as it might appear. So this is a good physical lightning awakening. So pretty weird banner. Kind of all over the place. We've got Holy and Earth. We've got Darkness. Fire and Wind, mostly. And then we got Lightning. Also Wind. Awakened Dragoon. He could do wind damage because there's Sky High is a very good ability. But hopefully after Banner 2 you've got better ways to deal wind damage. Oh yeah, what if Cain eventually gets a wind awakening and he becomes... Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how that works. Never mind. Don't talk to me. Orlando Arcane, obviously really good. Cain Arcane, obviously really good. They didn't switch out Rem's Arcane. I have no idea in the world why Rem's Arcane is on this banner. I'm gonna flip forward, and we're gonna laugh at one of the banners in the December festival. Banner 4 in the Winter Festival. Renoa Synchro, cool. Renoa Awakening 2, cool. Barret Awakening, Sync Awakening, Enacros Awakening, Larsa Awakening. Sync Arcane, Renoa Glint plus 2, Barret Glint plus, Sync Glint plus, an Enacros Glint plus, Barret LMR 2, Rethia LMR 2. What is this doing here? Who got drunk and made this banner? At least Rem's Arcane is an Arcane. This is a start battle with Endfire LMR on a banner that's not fire based. Barret's Arcane Awakening does do fire damage, but I believe that is it. Yeah, that's it. It just doesn't belong there. Anyway, Rem's Awakening is here. Rem is cool. She's a really powerful character, which makes her Awakening good. So, or not Awakening. Well, yeah, her Awakening good, but her Awakening is not on the banner. Arcane. Golbez USB 2 is actually really good. It's automatic dual cast Darkness. It's not ability double Darkness. It's a magical copy of Dark Cecil's USB. And it's really powerful. It's no Awakening, but it's about as close as you can get to a USB being an Awakening. Even down to the overflow finisher. So what you're supposed to pull here is 99% current HP damage to self, 100% stone skin, and pretty much the status only sticks around as long as you have stone skin. So what you're meant to do is just recast the USB and keep refreshing your stone skin. At some point, I will have to get Rem's USB. That is true. Hello, VJ. Alright, we have another Glint Plus. I love Glint Plus. Here it is. I'm sure somebody mentioned it when I flubbed it on Cloud's Glint Plus, but here's the instant cast one. Oh yeah, Bricky brings up a good point. You don't want to recast it until the stone skin's broken or the finisher doesn't go off. So what you want to do is have the finisher go off and then recast it. Okay, anyway, 0 soul break point costs just no airtime and instant cast one. So it makes up for the turn that it costs by instant casting out your next turn. No airtime, I believe, is 25 seconds. But I will check for you. It's a good question. Let's zoom in on this. I'm sure that's tiny to everybody. It's only 15 seconds. So when would you cast this if you have his awakening? I suppose it would just be right before the awakening, yeah. It doesn't make sense to... even if you run out of this for the last turn of the awakening, you can use Cyclone Bolt. And I believe eventually we get a 6-star version of Cyclone Bolt, so it's not even that bad anymore to have airtime issues. Unfortunately, Cyclone Bolt does kind of stink. So until we get the 6-star version, that last turn is going to be a whole lot worse than the 6-hit 6 stars you're going to be using before that. Here, where is it? Right here, Hurricane Bolt. Hurricane Bolt is a 6-star version of Cyclone Bolt that grants its 4 attacks and no airtime 3. Rainy Screw. I'm gonna instantly hone that to max. Orlando's Glint, definitely made to go with his soul breaks because of his 100% crit rate. Cain LMR 3, yes, please give me dual cast on Dragoons. 20% increased physical damage. Well, Orlando is a really good ability spammer. So I probably would want his Haste Instacast 3 Legend Materia plus his 25% chance to dual cast Legend Materia over this. But if you don't have his 25% chance to dual cast, at least this exists. It is powerful. Cain, start battle with Enlightening. He doesn't have a way to stack, unfortunately. So it's less powerful. I would almost certainly want to use his LM2 with his LMR3 rather than this, but I guess this kind of functions as the same purpose as this. If you don't have his better LMR, then at least this exists and it's fine. Terra, start battle with Fire. She does have a stacking stacking Glint, but I have a... See, Terra does so much damage that I'm not sure if it's even worth to work up to stacking End Fire on her. She probably only needs 1 stack to go and do the things that she does. So I'm not sure if this LMR is even good on her. Ricky is the person to ask. Ricky is the Terra player. And it kind of makes sense. Terra just does... She hits very hard. She gets a lot of damage bonuses that a lot of other characters don't. So she doesn't have to go through... She doesn't have to jump through hoops that a lot of players do, or a lot of characters do. Terra LMR 1, on the other hand, awesome. Honestly, I like a lot of this banner. And that's why I plan on pulling on it. Not as heavily as the previous banner, but I hope to hack that I get Terra's Awakening. Easily the best of the 3, but I wouldn't mind at all the other 2. And everything else here is still good. Golbez USB 2 lost a lot of value since I cleared the Final Fantasy IV Torment. I guess. You know, I did just get Kusha's USB 2. And maybe with these cap breaks, I don't know. The problem is that Sephiroth exists, and I have Sephiroth's stuff. And Cloud exists, and I have Cloud's stuff. They're just better. they're just better for cap breaking, for everything. So this would be a loss to me, but it's still an extremely good soul break for Torment, and for Medine, and even for magical dark teams for Odin. And he's a chain user, so it's good for that too. So it is good, just not good for me. Cain Glint Plus, this is huge because right now Cyclone Bolt stinks. So you either stay in the air for 5 years every time you use a Dragoon ability, which you don't want to do, or you use Cyclone Bolt, which you don't want to do because it's a poorly used turn, or you use his Glint Plus to give him no airtime for 15 seconds, so he can go happy, happy, joy, joy with the 6-star lightning ability. So Cain Glint Plus, good. Orlando Glint, good for him. Very good for him. With no N element, this makes up for any like damage deficiency that he'd have versus Odin, and would allow him to, clear the damage cap easier even at high rage modes for multiple elements. So I mean, this is pretty damn good for Orlando if you have his Awakening. I'm glad somebody got it, Ryan. The LMRs are up and down, but they're all pretty decent. It's better than bad, it's good. I like the banner. Next, banner 4. They did a grave misservice, and I'm pissed for me and for everybody else on this banner. You see, there's one relic here in italics. It's Bartz USB 1. Do you know what Bartz USB 1 used to be? Bartz USB 3. Bartz USB 3 is not only a great way, the best way for Bartz to get in wind. But it's also a fantastic soul break by itself. This is an obscene crime. The only way to get in wind on anima lenses right now for Bartz is with his unique. It's pretty depressing. So I'm hoping that Banner 2 comes through for me for wind. Put it that way. So I don't have to use Bartz on my wind team anymore. Because he has trouble breaking the cap against Odin with just his awakening and no end wind. That was a huge hit to this banner. Bartz's awakening is still really good. But it was